If you grew up with Yoshi's Island, you probably know how special it was. But what if it worked in modern 3D? People say that it would kill the magic. So yeah, I spent 100 days trying to prove them wrong. And halfway through, I thought I'd ruined it all. But let's start at the beginning. Hi, I'm Ben, and I will use Unity to make this project happen, starting with... Since I'm a modern game dev and you have AI now, I said, give me Yoshi, and it gave me something, yeah, not exactly the Yoshi I grew up with and not exactly Nintendo quality. My next idea was using 3D boxes, but the problem is, every animation frame is one model. Jump animation, 10 models. Walk cycle, 20 models. Flutter jump, 50. Goodbye happiness, goodbye social life. But wait, remember Doom? Remember when games pretended to be 3D and our brains just accepted it? Yeah, let's do that. Let's use flat sprites that always face the camera and swap between different angles to fake the 3D model. So instead of sculpting Yoshi and the piranha plant, I started drawing them. And after a few tries, I finally got it right and Yoshi looked like a 3D character. Genius, my master plan worked. So next we needed Baby Mario. At first, yeah, it didn't go so well. After a few attempts, I finally got something that looked right, like Yoshi's tongue, but way too many times. Eventually though, we got there. Okay, let's put them together and give them real depth by adding a perspective camera. Plus shadows. Now that we can look like Yoshi, we need to move like Yoshi with animations. Because I love to suffer, I drew, walk and run each from 8 angles and added a second jump for Baby Mario, and after adding jumping I realized something. Yoshi had wrong arms, Mario had wrong pants, it was wrong everything, but after iterating we finally got jumping work. And for gameplay reasons only, I give Yoshi the ability to suffer, get hurt. So satisfying. And I added the most iconic ability, Flutter, tuned the timing and tested it against real obstacles. Now finally the old school Yoshi feeling was there. Now he jumps like he regrets being alive, as in the original game. Now for another iconic part of Yoshi's toolkit, his eggs. Initially spawning them caused some infinite egg problems, but once that was solved, I made his eggs follow and jump along with him. And after the aiming and shooting, this is where everything started breaking. No aim, bad aim, worst aim. Yeah, I know. The only reasonable solution was to take a break. And when I need to break, I rap. NANI?
Oh my god, what the hell, not again another bug. It makes me mad, what should I do, what else, I feel like I suck. Remember in the end that I don't give a fuck. I just do other stuff, there's no time for that luck or be stuck. Draw, write, design, compose, write or hack, you could pack. And then get back to coding, it's time to debug.
Whew. Finally, we got egg throwing working and avoided an emotional breakdown. Yoshi's Island isn't complete without enemies, so I started drawing ShyGuys. After drawing him from 8 angles, he looked good with a walking and the idle animation. Next was the behavior, walking towards the player when in reach, and getting hit by some nags. I also added the iconic sequence of walking, stopping for 2 seconds, looking around. Yeah, I know, revolutionary. I also turned ShyGuy into a kangaroo, constantly jumping towards Yoshi. And this was the last time any joy existed in this project, because suddenly ShyGuy started flying and totally ignoring the law of physics, spawning infinite like cannons from the ground. And Yoshi decided to run. But of course it didn't stop there. I had to create a proper spawner in a safe environment with apples, because Yoshi got really hungry. And you know what happens when someone gets really hungry? Yeah, exactly. And meanwhile, the ShyGuys were going here and there and everywhere. No, actually, the ShyGuys went completely crazy. Crazier. Like the craziest ShyGuys I have ever seen. And after this happy survival-like accident, I sealed the spawner from hell to only 7 Shy Guys threatening your life at once. Now, whenever Yoshi is nearby, the spawner randomly shoots one of 3 Shy Guy types as explained before. I also added Yoshi's lick, spit shooting and turning Shy Guys into eggs to payback for the zombie apocalypse earlier. Okay, it was time to create a level. Newer games with Yoshi's Island tend to have flat mountains, and even the older DS remake lost all the uneven terrain. And the new Yoshi's Island remake for 3DS? Let's just move on with life, okay? For 3D game inspirations, I checked out Mario 3D World, but it looked like Mario wandered into Minecraft or Legoland, and I really wanted to keep the organic feel Yoshi Island had in 2D. Because you know, the original ground has this beautiful patchy look, so I recreated it in 3D using hundreds of tiny sprite spikes facing the camera. Which surprisingly looked great. And absolutely destroyed performance at the same time. Yeah, it felt like a cinematic PowerPoint experience. And nobody wants that. So I reworked it using a texture-based approach, and that fixed everything, having almost the same look, and my PC was able to breathe again. And then came the Piranha plant. First there was no plant, then no physics plant, and then Yoshi's new arch nemesis. The no limit plant growing till infinity and beyond. And after a few tries, the Piranha plant grows and snaps when Yoshi gets close, and shrinks back down when he walks away. But the game wouldn't be complete without a crying baby. If Yoshi got hit, Mario flies away in a bubble which spins randomly around Yoshi. For the UI, I added a 3D arrow pointing always to Mario's bubble and timer. If it reached 0, it was game over. Yes, I hear you. I didn't forget the level details either. Stuff like yellow coins, red coins, those overly cheerful flowers that are way too happy about everything happening around them. And of course, when shooting a flying question mark, a giant rank would spawn that Yoshi can climb on to reach new heights. Totally normal things to do on this island. I also added green blocks that give you new egg ammunition when you hit the block from below, as well as purple blocks that grow and can be used to reach higher places. Or this, which was supposed to be a humble, totally normal jump pad for also reaching higher ground, but somehow it decided to do its own thing. Actually, it was rather meant to work like this, which was way less self-expression. Of course, Yoshi Island also needed some platforms, which at first behaved weird, having all sorts of identity crises, until they spun around correctly, which was honestly all I cared about in the moment. Next up were stairs, which looked like this and were in its current state unusable. Unless you shoot the flying question mark, then the stairs will transform and Yoshi can walk on them. Sorry, I was so excited that the stairs worked that I got a bit overambitious, but I guess Asher would be proud of me. Strange. Does this look familiar? After stairs, I got more stairs. Too many stairs. And stairs that broke reality. Yoshi? You, okay? Wait, what are you doing? Okay. Whatever that was, it was time for stars. When a flying question mark is hit, 5 stars spawn and start to run away when Yoshi gets close. So you need to hurry to collect them before they disappear. Since we are on an island, around the level are 2 things we are still missing: a sky and water. I experimented with several water textures to fit the hand-drawn look, straight out of a coloring book. And with the same approach, I created the skybox, which also got with every steps more pixelated, to fit the SNES retro aesthetics. To avoid having a boring desert, I had to add decorations like green grounds with flowers on top, and I started with 3D models, which didn't look great, so I moved on to my good old fake 2D sprites, which turn all flowers towards a player. Ground is a 3D model, and since placing over 300 of details by hand sounded like torture and I had enough nightmares already, I built a system that randomizes them every time you start the game. And with this final step, I could move on to level design. I rebuilt the whole first level in 2D. Here I will only show some highlights. The full gameplay will be maybe in the next video. Speaking of, maybe I should upload a full gameplay video of the 3D level. NANI? 3D level? Yes, in this 2D level aiming didn't really work, so I redesigned the whole level to work in 3D. Also adding soft shadows, hard shadows, soft shadows again to better see height differences and improves the overall look. To give the island a bit more modern feel, I also added post-processing like camera depth, tone mapping, bloom and vignette. And with that, let's check out the final game. So after 3 months, hundreds of fails, one cursed AI dinosaur and more shy guys than emotionally healthy, I couldn't be happier with the results. Same mechanics, same feel, just viewed from a completely different dimension. So yeah, I can't release this game for Nintendo reasons, but this project became the foundation for something even cooler. Everything I learned here, all the systems, tech and design lessons, will become my own original game. A new world with new characters, full creative freedom, and yes, more rap. So, if you're curious what I'm building next, wishlist it now on Steam, link below. Thanks for watching.